Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Scvrush from the UEN.com giving you guys an audio commentary on 3-on-3. I'm going to be spawning as the Teal Terran. My friend here, Oink, spawns at the red Protoss, and my other friend, Tiger Hawk, spawns as the blue Zerg. Alright, I didn't show the first minute of the game because it is completely irrelevant. So, right now, first of all, I want to go over the map first because this is a very small map. You can see that this entire middle is basically one screen away, pretty much 1.5 screen total, and it goes to the enemy's base. My friend here is actually doing a temple, I believe, and the enemy is also doing a temple, so this is going to be negated by each other. Both players running away. The other player is actually going to be building fast 10-gate zealots in the middle of the map for map control purposes, because units just comes out there and try to do damage. And at this point, Tiger Hawk is going to be doing a lot of taking a lot of beating here with one zealot, but he does have drones, putting all the drones on the line. It does hurt his economy, but he will be able to defend this. At the same time, Scvrush doing his thing, bringing his SCVs to the battle, and Oink here doing some damage to these pylons. So once you take the pylons down, obviously the gateways will not be able to build anything anymore. And look at this freeze. This crazy looking freeze action by the zealot. It's pretty awesome. Just some bug, I guess, that Blizzard needs to iron out. But at this point, I think there's a lot of zealots on my face, and I really kind of just need to retreat as soon as possible. This SCV is actually so about building this bunker, but I really can't get inside the bunker since there are so many zealots in the middle. Really effective build. One thing I was gonna talk about earlier is that on a small map like this, you really want to get a lot of defense, or a lot of units and defense, if you want to play a more macro game, because people will rush you in 3-on-3, and especially like a small map like this, people will rush you really hard. Like 6 pull is very common, 10 pull is the standard build on this map, and double racks is pretty much what I do on small maps. I do not try to go for 1 barracks racks, orbital command type of stuff. I always get 2 racks because it's just that important to get that early unit advantage, to get that map control, so you could tech up, or you could just push out and take out one enemy. That's kind of the nature of 3-on-3. You really have to take out. If you could take out one enemy really early, then you are at a severe advantage, or the enemy will be at a severe disadvantage. More actions going on. This guy has his hockey binding to all nexuses for 5-0. I'm not sure the purpose of that, but at this point, the opponent does have speedlings. You can see that he got his speedlings faster than my friend here, simply because he attacked him, and he was at a disadvantage because he couldn't mine for a while. He lost a couple of drones. And at this point, he is gonna be in a little bit of trouble again once he's putting down a lot of pressure in 3-on-3s, or even in 1-on-1s is a very good thing, because they will be so occupied. Baneling mooring here. It's almost like a disc building a baneling right in front of your base. But SCV comes to the rescue, takes down that baneling, takes that 50 minerals. That would have hurt my army or his army really badly. I'm trying to micro some of my guys. Marine really needs a lot of attention. They're not very good units if you just fight them like straight up. You just kind of need a micro. Oh, he takes out the queen. Unable to save that queen there with a little miss micro. At this point, Oink does have a pretty good position in terms of the choke. And at this point, I'm gonna have to be retreating. I see these banelings. I'm just gonna be running back to my base, try to micro a little bit. Maybe I should have just ran back, but at this point, it's not feasible to fight these banelings. I just managed to snipe one. It's very important that you actually control these Marines with a lot of micro. That's kind of what makes Terran kind of the technical race, because you do have to do everything correctly to pull everything off. And at this point, when I don't micro like that, I kind of just lose everything. Getting stuck with my SCV actually for a little bit, and at this point, there are just too many zealots in my base. So at this point, my purpose is actually not to kill these zealots, because I know I cannot kill these zealots, but it's just to buy time. My purpose is to buy enough time so my teammate getting Citadel, Twilight Council. I was gonna say the Citadel of Adun. That's the Starcraft 1 tech unit. Yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to buy enough time so my teammate can macro up and actually build an army to defend or do some damage. If you guys watch the Day 9 Daily, I'm a big fan of Day 9. He talks about how you should just die very slowly when you are in a position like this. You do not want to actually just lose a 3-on-1 or lose my guys, try to defend, kill 2 zealots, and lose the rest of my army here. It's just so I could buy time so my teammate can actually, Oink is actually getting a Dark Shrine right now. This is a big deal because no one actually teched. You can see that this guy does not have any tech. This guy, he does have Twilight Council. Maybe he's going for Dark Shrine as well. And this guy does not have any tech as well. So that's going to be a really big deal. And yes, I did manage to lose all of this while I was not looking. See, once I lose all my units, you can see that they will start pressuring my next target, which is our weakest Zerg teammate here, and the Zerg is gonna fall simply because there are too many Zealots. Zealots is a really good early unit. I recommend anyone playing a team game, early game, to get a lot of Zealots, simply because they have 1 armor, which is really hard for Zergs to deal with, and Marines. And at the same time, they have a DPS of 12, which is really impressive for an early unit. Marine has a DPS of 7, which is pretty high, but they die really fast. Zealot has 150 hit points, while Marines only have 45. So if you just do the math, for 100 minerals, 2 Marines will get you 90 hit points, while Zealot has 150 with the armor of 1 and has DPS comparable to Marines. But they are ranged, so you just need a lot of micro. So he has these Zerglings just running around, maybe trying to do some harassment. And at the same time, I am gonna be screwed because there are a lot of Zerglings. I'm trying to build my bunker here, trying to just oh god, he just took down my supply depot. Not that I need it, because I am that severely under supply. But at this point, Oink did get some Zealots, Zealots, that would not do anything. Did get some Dark Templar out, and he is sending a Dark Templar here, and he's sending a Dark Templar here, and he's probably sending a Dark Templar here, but I'm not sure where it is. Yep, he is sending another Dark Templar. So at this point, I think Oink has angered them, and they are gonna decide to attack me instead, which is undesirable. But you can see how good this choke is. This 3-4 Zealot is just gonna be basically stop everything, and I realized that there is absolutely nothing I can do. I was gonna try to repair this bunker, but I realized that the Baneling is just gonna destroy everything I have. And yeah, there's really not much I can do at this point other than expecting Oink to carry me and my teammate on his back. 13 kills, 14 kills. So basically at this point, this guy is pretty much done because he has no tech to get any source of detector. This guy already lost his base, so that is worth it. He does have the Dark Shrine, so I think his Dark Templar is, oh yeah, this is his Dark Templar, but Oink does have 4 cannons. Wow, that is a lot of cannons. But this guy does have some cannons. You realize he's surrounding with his probe. He's surrounding his cannon with his probe, so to prevent those Dark Templar from actually attacking it. That is a good measure if you're getting attacked, because if it takes a while for the Templar to attack the probes, they have a pretty slow attack speed, 1.69. So if you could just surround the cannons until they come up, that's always a good idea. So at this point, they're checking everyone's expansions. They still have a huge army. Let me just put down the production. the entire there's 6 players and only 1 player is building probes. Oh, this guy's building a pylon. That's how kind of pathetic we are at this game. We both basically just traded bases and everyone just lost everything. I'm flying into Tigerhawk's base. Pretty fail. Oink is expanding. I'm gonna speed this up since this is kind of the macro aspect of this game, a macro part of this game. He's using that Q is very effective. Using that Zergling. He tried to scout me, but since I walled off here because I'm so good at this game, he is not gonna be able to scout my base. At this point, you can see that there's so many Zealots here. This is just ridiculous amount of Zealots. That's kind of what you get for rushing early, because you can just get so many Zealots and crush the enemy. If Oink didn't get that Dark Templar in time and I didn't buy enough time, I think we would have lost the game right there. Getting more cannons because he's being very defensive, even though I think he is ahead Right now, he does. By the way, for the information, the sight range of photon cannons is 9, and the shooting range is 7. So basically, they can see your Dark Templars before photon cannons can shoot you. Very similar to turrets as well. So be aware of that. Just because you can't see the photon cannon doesn't mean they can't see you. Something good to know for those who like Star Templar. I personally dislike them because they own me all the time, and I don't play Protoss. But they're a very effective strategy. At this point, you always want to guard this ramp, because if they actually let the Zerglin go up this ramp, there is no defense, and he's gonna lose his main if he does let that happen. You can see that he's being very defensive and putting another pylon here, creating additional choke for his zealots. At this point, both players are massing. Well, these guys have just zealots, and I think he's getting more zealots. Getting the observer, that's what he's getting exactly. So he can't really expand, he can't really push out unless he gets that observer out and actually cleared the Dark Templar. Without those observers, those Oink's Dark Temple will just have complete map control of what's going on. Right now I'm paying whether everyone checks that, because we don't have sight of that, right? Yep, we don't have sight of that. I'm just paying to check potential expansions by the enemy. So at this point, I have 3 Raxes producing using only 1. Gonna align them because I'm slightly OCD. And putting down a bunker because I realized that Oink just told me on Skype, I think at this point, that they do have observer, so I'm putting down a bunker. And if they do attack me, that's a pretty good idea, since I can repair, and if I can repair, that is a pretty good sign that I'll probably live for a while until Oink master enough army to defend this huge attack. But they did scout my base and decide that my base was not the right choice, which is bad for us, actually, to be honest. I'd rather see myself die than actually see Oink die, because he's the only guy with technology. I have literally jack shit. So at this point, look at this army compare. Look at the army difference. Oink has, oh, here's the battle. You can see that Oink is doing a very good job using this choke here. This pylon is doing a very good job blocking everyone. There's 80% of these zealots are not attacking. You got some banelings crushing in, and right now, Oink, did you see that observer? He just sniped observer. So right now, these DTs will have free reign over these zealots, pretty much doing the maximum amount of damage. They cannot stop these DTs without the observer. So he used the cannon's range to actually destroy, or the cannon's sight to destroy the observer. You can see that the observer was right here when it died, even though the cannon's right here. So you can see that the range of the cannon is actually greater than the range of the shooting. Excuse me, I lost my chain of thought. Excuse me. You can see in the Dark Temple, Oink does not have any detection as well, which is quite unfortunate. This Dark Temple actually has 10 kills. Oh my god, that is freaking godly, man. Permanently cloaked. I don't think anyone uses this Archon warp. Do they? Yes, it's true that they cost a little bit less gas, but it's much more mineral intensive. So I don't know. Maybe I don't think people uses that. But it's interesting to have. Right now, both players, Oink does not have any expansion running, except this poorly mined base. I do have a base. I'm putting down my 2nd expansion simply because I realized that I just need to get a lot of troops and just kick ass. I'm gonna look at the income tab real quick. We have only 3 people mining. I'm actually in the lead. Oh no, just kidding. He just got his gold. I'm not in the lead anymore, but Oink is making attack again, scanning to get rid of that Dark Templar. But at this point, I think there's just too many cannons and drones and stalkers to force into the enemy's base. I think he's going to be forced to retreat. He's going to micro this guy. Yeah, it's also very important to micro these Colossus if you're a Protoss player, because if you lose one, it is very expensive to rebuild them, and 200 gas is hard to come by. So make sure you do let them live. If also SCV can repair them, so if he does send it over to my base, I can repair his Colossus, and shield does regenerate. So that's a very good thing. I believe the cost of repair of any unit is 33%. I'm a math techie, I know these kind of things, so if you have any questions on that, you can ask me on anything else. But 33% of the cost of a Colossus, so 200 gas, 300 minerals, would cost approximately about 70 or so gas, which is still pretty expensive, but consider that you could make the Colossus full life. It's pretty impressive. So right now, I think they do see me. Do they see my? Yeah, they do see my orbital command. And Tigerhawk does have his overlord here, so that's always a good thing. I'm gonna just try to snipe his overlord here, but and then he built a nexus here, which is, I think, is pretty fair. I think he should have put it right here. But either way, Tigerhawk would have seen it. I would have attacked it, and I just lifted off. Oh, he canceled it. Good choice. Good choice. I was like, that is retarded. Don't ever do that again, because long distance mining is not very efficient. And we have 3 Colossus, couple Stalkers, couple Sentries. That's a very good sign. I think they're gonna attack. Oh, I think this force is not gonna be that close. Actually, he's just sniped down his observer once again with his own observer. And at this point, I'm bringing some SCVs into the action, because I know that I'm kind of the guy who just need to make sure that Colossus live, so then we can win. My Marines are replaceable. Most of these things are replaceable. Good, very good Sentries placement here. And right now, I'm just throwing a fist here because they were really unmannered when they tell me to leave. When in fact, Oink was getting Dark Templars. Yeah, actually, for those who are interested, I do have one game where I completely rage out of control, like Hydra, except the entire game. I think One Man Zerg might be interested in casting that that game. It's pretty hilarious. I was a little over the top. Because they talk a lot of smack earlier. So it's a 2-game series. So look forward to that. And I'll be making more one-on-one videos. Look forward to that as well. So if you have any questions, go to our forum. Sign up for the Yuyan League Season 2. Yeah. So subscribe to our channel as well. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks. What the heck happened?